Episode 9. Nina.
The born number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right around that Nina. Mathematics is like the highest number you can get. There is no 10. It's 0.
Cipher 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, ciphers.
Yeah, so shout out to episode number 9 and to you guys for sticking around with us for all 9 episodes. It's monumental.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like an artist getting 1,000 streams. See how I had to sneak that in? It's monumental, man. I appreciate you guys. If you guys have stuck with us from episode 1 to episode 9 and have gone all through the first 8 episodes, that means you're going to stick around through the whole 9th episode. And we're looking forward to having you guys for episode 10. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes. And episode 9, we're going to talk about motion.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about motion without a plan.
Right.
And motion with a plan.
Okay.
Because
two big differences.
I believe because I run across a lot of artists that's having motion. They have emotion. They might got some offers on the table. They got some people calling them. I was running it with Cody Patrick just the other day and came across an artist. Empress Spade put him on the radar. I won't say his name. He can't get no free promo.
Right.
But Empress Spade put him on the radar. So.
The purveyor of funky.
Yes.
Shout out to the homie.
Yes. The Florida functionality.
Yeah.
Yes. Empress Spade. So we looked at this artist. I was in the organic distro office.
Right.
Cody pulled up the kid's numbers.
Okay.
He's doing some decent numbers.
Right.
Decent. They're okay.
So his hustle is through the roof.
He's having some motion.
Okay.
Little deeper dive.
Strategy.
as we glimpsed under the hood.
Right.
Of the numbers, we noticed, there are several very prominent features in here. Not only are there several prominent features, this is an artist none of us had heard their name before.
Right.
Not only is
a whole bunch of features,
but several, I don't want to say a whole bunch, but several prominent features.
Right.
Those big names.
A bunch is 5.
Big names. Call it a few. Let's call it 3.
Okay, cool. Because a whole bunch is just a whole 5. Because a half a dozen is a half a dozen. It's not a bunch.
When I'm looking at it, in my analytical eye, when I see the feature.
Right.
If I see you with a 21 Savage feature and you're an independent artist.
Right.
You're either part of Slaughter Gang.
Correct.
Or you bought a house.
Right. That would have cost.
A very nice house.
Yes, it would have cost.
A very nice house. So
I'll drink to that.
And when we look at these artists that's comparable, when you got you a Big Boogie verse, when you got you a Ice Wear Vezo verse, the ESTG verse,
D-Lo or
Boss Man D-Lo
Big
verse.
Extra Plug.
Woo! You spent a significant.
It was a nice investment into your future.
So
and
when I say a bunch of features, bro, if you got you a Kevin Gates, a Lil Baby, and a Kodak Black.
Right, yeah, you didn't spend the bag.
You got a bunch of features, homie.
Yeah. Those 3 are big features. Yeah, that's a gang of features right there.
You feel me?
Right.
When we counting the paperwork.
Right.
We counting the paperwork.
Each one of those artists pulling up in a car by themselves looks like you got 20 people in the car with you. Bro. Just the size and the weight of that artist and their motion.
The fact that as an artist, without any corporate backing, you're able to infiltrate the web of business around this superstar.
Okay.
To actually have a conversation, to spend the money.
And get a feature that was approved to be released.
And yes, along with the clearance and everything.
A lot of stuff that goes with it.
You don't balk at the clearance. It's like, oh, bro, it's that much money?
Right.
It's a Lamborghini in cash right now. And how do I get the clearance?
There's a lot going to getting the clearance to releasing a feature. So, a lot that goes into it.
So when we look at these, and I looked at in that example, looking at bro,
his
numbers just wasn't that impressive in the light of the gang of features that he had.
And this is something that most people won't look at, but because you're trained, but because you have experience and you're looking at it from an analytical standpoint, you're looking at it for what it really is. You're not really scarred. You just have vision. You can see. You can see through the veil. You can see through the filter. And that's a talent to be able to have. It's a gift and a curse because it doesn't allow us to be misled. There's no pontificating your victimness, if there's such a phrase.
Right.
There's such a thing. You can't get up here and proclaim how much of a victim you are and how the world is so unfair to you when you haven't done all of the things that you should be doing to be fair to yourself, give yourself a fighting chance.
That's the biggest part. In 2025, when the artist has the ability to control not only the narrative, but the pace of the release of the music, the conversation around those releases, the quality. If you choose to, like Kendrick did, he dropped an unmastered joint.
Right.
Unmixed, unmastered. If you have the bravery, if you had a chutzpah.
But that wasn't his first out the gate. That was after the fact.
Well, if you had a chutzpah to try it, this is just me on this part.
Right.
Now, advising somebody, because we've worked with somebody, they say, yeah, man, here go 7 songs. I want to start next week and drop them all one week after the other. And it was like, bro, this is not how this works. And he's like, I don't care how it works. This is the way I want to do it. I'm paying for it. I want to do it this way. I want all of my songs out and all of my videos out and all of my visualizers out, all of my lyric videos out in less than 50 days. And I want to start in 3 days. Let's go. I paid the invoice, so now I done paid you. Let's do it that way. And 49 days flew past. And it was 7 pieces of content, audio, and 7 visualizers, and 7 lyric videos, and 7
music videos.
And when it came to time to start investing in the behind the scenes and the reactionary videos,
right,
that's when the questions came like, but when do I see the results?
Right.
You just shot up the house, bro.
Right, you blew your wad, my boy.
Yeah, you just shot up the whole house. The police on the way. And now you want to go look around and see what you hit.
So it's safe to say that you could have all of the hustle and all of the motion in the world. If you're not ready to reap the benefits of that hustle and motion, it was all a wasted effort. It would be equivalent of running in place. It's motion, but you're not getting anywhere.
I got a saying that goes with this.
Come on.
Undirected motion.
Right.
And I say this to past and former clients that we've worked with.
Okay.
Undirected motion is going to lead you to 2 places.
Right.
It's going to lead you off a cliff or in a circle.
Yes.
Off a cliff or in a circle.
Right.
Motion behind your idea, motion behind your vision becomes steps to a place, becomes a plan, becomes a campaign, becomes a strategy.
Right.
Motion, just because you ran into such and such at the Quick Trip,
right,
and he let you come to the studio session, and you was able to record a verse with whoever.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
That doesn't facilitate. It's a big part. You should appreciate everything. Oh my goodness.
Timing is everything.
Appreciate
and being at the right place. We talked about that before the camera's rolling. There are people that walked into a store for the first time in their life and bought a $1 lottery ticket because the lottery was $120 million and struck.
Yes.
Never played the lottery a day in their life, never liked gambling, but had that extra buck and was going to walk away, and it was either like, give it to the person begging outside or buy myself a lottery ticket. Mm-hmm. And they went and bought themselves a lottery ticket. Selfish. So I'm going to buy this lottery ticket and hope I go home and win. And went home and struck for $100 million.
Big.
And they was just a victim of the right timing. Those cases are far few more common in regards to artists hitting the lottery in the music business and becoming extra successful or off of.
That's the dream and that's the belief that artists carry, that they will be that individual, that I'm that guy. And that's part of the belief, the confidence, not the arrogance, but part of the belief that's required, the somewhat delusional belief.
So I say all that to say this. Wouldn't it be in their best interest to buy as many lottery tickets as they could every day with their currency? And their currency in this instance would be social media content, social media engagement, releases, whether the audio, video, merchandising. Wouldn't it behoove them to buy as many lottery tickets as they possibly could?
Well, so allow me just to say and tell me if I'm tripping, because I'm the advocate of motion with strategy.
Okay.
I'm very, very much against just going outside just to do stuff.
Okay.
I'm 1,000% with staying outside getting stuff done.
Of course. That's how you get stuff done, is being outside.
I'm 1,000% coming from a recall.
You come from the area where you didn't get to come back in the house unless you handled what you had to handle. Whether you was on the block beating it till your knuckles bled, you didn't come home to whatever your goal was. If it took you 3 days wearing the same shirt, then that's what it did. And then you came home and rested when the job was done, not when you retired. So you're from a different era.
And I don't want to paint the narrative that I'm some type of former super street grinder.
Right. No, but you survived.
I'm a little rain.
You're a little long in the tooth, and you've managed to survive a lot of things that were sent to destroy you, which is why a lot of life experiences, people respect your opinion, Tony. Because you've done a lot. You lived. We joke about it often. He lives a Forrest Gump life. He's met a. We haven't been. There's a lot of places that we've been the most random places in the world, and he'll know somebody from. He'll bump into somebody and be like, "Yeah, I'm from Opelousas." Be like, "Man, I'm from Crowley." What? We went to the same high schoolers. It's just some random fact. So it's from being such a small town, he has a wide experience, and that's why I think a lot of people are willing to sit down and listen to you share some of those stories and some of those experiences, because what would have destroyed a lot of people kind of uplifted you and helped you survive and get to this point. So definitely. I don't ever think that you're giving people more. I think you should give them more. I don't think you're giving them enough. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, just sharing.
Yeah, just to say that, in saying this in that context, not to lessen anything.
Right.
As soon as I found out that the bomb you buy can sell for 5 times retail, but 2.5 times wholesale, I just wholesale.
Right.
I just spread the profit to the homies that was outside risking their life hanging in the streets.
Everybody eats.
Young, fat, fresh out the military, lazy.
We're not allegedly. We're not telling you how you did anything wrong.
I went to the penitentiary for this.
Right.
So I went to the penitentiary for this.
Right.
Because it was that sweet. In my mind, the penalty wasn't that sweet.
Right.
And then I wasn't willing to penalize other people.
And can I say this? I relate that into this business because all the sucker shit, all the nefarious swear jar, all of the sucker stuff, all of the nefarious stuff, all the backdoor undermining stuff that you think you're doing to trick the system, you're going to have to atone for. Somebody's going to come offer you a deal. Somebody is going to come try to buy that catalog. You're going to put yourself in a position to where somebody's going to want it. And when it gets to that point, bro, you're not going to be able to give it to them. You're not going to be able to sell it to them. It's not going to be worth what it was when you thought you had something that doesn't have value to it.
On life, today, I have a witness. On point is the witness. I talked to a young man today who wants to look into investing into catalogs because I told him that there's a speculative market amongst these people with money who will invest in underperforming catalog as long as it's doing some type of numbers. So like when we talk to our distro partners, we are RGMs, our organics, command shifts, 1 RPMs, all these different people, they got a little pocket change for these artists through investors, structured investors and whatnot. I talked to an individual today that said, hey man, I don't got no whole bunch of money, bro, but you talking about loaning them something I could make back in a year because that's what the standard loan is.
Right.
Like, so if they're making $500-$600 a month, T, I'm like, bro, that's $500-$600 a month is 150,000, 200,000 streams.
Right.
They're like, well, if they're making that, I could loan them $7,500 over a year if they go it on and drop this music,
right, and
go up a little bit. I'm like, well, that's a little aggressive.
That's where strategy comes into play. Well, because if you're making, $600, $700, $800 a month, and you're dropping when you want, you're dropping like a daisy, you're not really running any numbers, you're just living off of a moment. With a little bit of structure, you could double, triple, quadruple that, pay back that loan in a fraction of time, or make it so that your next loan is, or your next investment towards. I'm not telling nobody to get in debt, OG.
The surprising,
but these catalogs have to be able to make money for themselves.
The reason for your ownership, man. You're not Scrooge McDuck. I'm not telling you what to do. The reason for your ownership and what you're creating is for you to be able to leverage it to create more. You're not even risking losing it by taking an advance via a distributor. If you take the advance via a distributor or a private investor, You pay them back over time, and if you don't do the work, your penalty is you got to pay them longer, and they earn a bigger percentage on
Go
the
see a
payback.
lawyer. Go see a lawyer, make sure the contract is right. If you take any money from anybody,
Always see a lawyer.
I would never suggest that you guys go climb into debt.
Right.
But your catalog, if it's doing a certain amount of numbers and you're not active and it's just doing numbers and you're happy to go to the mailbox and get that check whenever it comes, then what I'm suggesting is that you take some of these cheat sheets from the first 8 episodes.
Boom, boom, boom,
right?
boom.
Step your hustle game up. That's the plan is there. When to drop it, the dates, what to prepare for, 14 days before performance, 7 days, day before, day after, contact list, DJ drops, what the service records. We've given you 8 cheat sheets over the last 8 weeks. This week is number 9.
What's the cheat sheet this week?
This week's cheat sheet number 9 is more of a checklist. This week's number 9 is more of a fill in the box. This week's cheat sheets is going to be based on how to use the calendar, how to add events to their calendar, how to set notifications for themselves and their teams, how to set the reminders. This week's cheat sheet is going to be a tutorial and a breakdown on how to use Google Calendar, your calendar apps, how to use your iCloud calendar, your keynotes, and your different programs so that you can start figuring out how to make the stuff that you got to use to present to your distributor, that you would want to present to your different platforms for features and for placements, because you also want to be able to give something to your team so they could look at. Having a calendar organization, that's the key for strategy, is knowing what is due on what day, what are my deadline dates, what are my review dates. It sounds like a lot because it is a lot. Not knowing when you have to have your content in to be loaded, Tony, prohibits you from standing on a box and demanding that you get a certain release date. Because demanding that you get a certain release date means that you've taken into consideration all of the things necessary for this.
Okay, so. That sounds like something artists might need some assistance with. They might need an assistant or somebody to help them with. Or is that something that somebody could learn in a short period of time? Is this checklist you're giving them, is it a step-by-step Google Calendar usage checklist, or is it just like a basic tutorial of how to set yourself some reminders in your...
Yes, it's a little bit of both. And one of the things that we give away this week is we're giving away the ability to upload, to lay out the information so that they can upload bulk events. So let's say these guys have a show coming up.
Hold on.
They have a tour. We're giving them the cheat sheets.
Okay, I understand that. But how do you upload bulk events? Like, give me an example of bulk events, then how would I upload it? Tell me.
Let's say I think one of the previous episodes we suggested going in and creating a Bands in Town and or an Eventbrite so we could start setting up our lives. And I think you had suggested that we were going to start at 3 lives a week until we got on. Well, if we know we're going to do 3 lives a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we have to do that up until our show week in June for, I think it was July or something like that.
We get to do it.
So that means that I already know every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday for the next 4, 6, 8 weeks what my days are going to be. That means I can take a picture of myself and I can make 12 different flyers, 12 different colors, because it's 12 different days. Now I can take all of those events and just populate this information one time in my spreadsheet, upload that CSV file into my Google Calendar, and it's going to automatically create all the events for me. So now I just have to go in and create maintenance for it. Now I have to go in there and tidy it up, and this is where the step-by-step comes into play.
Can you do that at Bands in Town and Songkick too with the CSV?
Yes. So yes, the majority of these platforms all allow you to bulk upload information, and when you do, they allow you to upload it to CSV. That's why I believe that access to Google Drive is probably the most underrated tool. It's literally, Google Drive is literally your record label in your pocket. Your record label will only invest resources once they've been able to measure the success of your releases. And the more successful your releases are, the more resources they allocate to make that release more successful and or prepare you for future successful releases. All of this information that we share with you, these documents, people that have worked at major labels have seen these documents and have been blown away. They don't believe these things exist, because if these things existed, maybe there wouldn't be some of the problems. These are the things they've told us. This is what's available in the Artist Academy. These are the tools that we use to fix and repair all of the problems and solutions. And if they want the strategies, they want to know how it's done and how they can do it for themselves, laylow.com/Artist Academy. We're getting ready to unveil the school dates whenever you get motivated. We're getting there. Wait till you see the new number of the cheat sheets downloads. It's getting incredible. So this one is going to be about the Google Calendar. It's going to be a step-by-step. It's going to be an example CSV document for them to upload their bulk dates, and so that they can start getting a little strategy to their motion, because make no mistake about it, strategy requires prior, proper planning. And success requires prior, proper planning. If we could implement those things into the structure of our releases, whether they're a song or a video, then we can dissect it.
Take the time out for a shameless plug for Art Rev Soul.
Okay.
Okay.
ArtRevSoul.com.
ArtRevSoul.com/inquire.
And what can they get when they go there?
ArtRevSoul.com/inquire is where you can get your audit.
Free audit, right?
Free audit. It's been free forever.
Yeah, since we founded the company, it's been free.
Free audit. Yeah, free audit.
It don't cost you nothing but information to get us to look at what you got going on.
Free audit, man.
Yeah.
Free audit. Like, for real. We really love doing it. We appreciate the opportunity to look at the ways that different artists are succeeding, or pieces that look like they could be improved to help you succeed. And us going over it, we've gone over this so many times. It doesn't really make sense to charge you.
Shout out to Pharrell, man. If you don't want the culture to look good, you're not for the culture, man. We want to advance the culture,
so
man.
At the very minimum, the artist audit it's a very comprehensive document. It's simple. It shows you some screenshots and what you may can improve.
Right.
What you may be missing. And then from there, you can go and do your research and fix stuff. If you're somebody that's a little busy, you can slide over to the consultation tab and book you a 40-minute, hour-long conversation about the actual audit results and the different steps. It'll sound like a condensed version of the podcast.
Right. Except catered to you.
Yeah, catered directly to you. When you sign up for the consultation, we're going to give you a link for you to schedule the time you want to talk. Once you schedule the time you want to talk, we're going to send you a questionnaire, so that we're just not on the phone, on the Zoom, talking gibberish with you. Okay? We're going to ask you all the significant pieces, because we don't know you. We're not assuming that you know us. You've seen us on the podcast, or you heard from one of your homies that we might be able to help you. Man. Salute to Southern Tea Awards.
Salute to our Destiny. The 10th annual on the way.
The 10th annual on the way. I've already got some inquiries from some artists down there in the 337.
Monumental, the 10th annual.
About getting
10th
some
anniversary is big.
And so that the audit is free. The audit may be an eye-opener, like, oh, okay, I just need to do these things, and you can fix stuff. If the audit is not as comprehensive as you like, or if you just come in like, I'm going to go hire them dudes, I don't really worry about no audit or none of that, but I'll fill out the form. When you fill out your consult has a fee. It's a 40-minute or better Zoom conversation with us. Once you pay for it, then you get the link to schedule it. Once you schedule it, you get a questionnaire. The questionnaire is motivational for you because you've already paid. Now we owe you. So you send us your information. We pour over your information, go to the scheduling, have that conversation with you. If you choose to hire us for any services, that consultation fee is taken off the price of those services. It's not like we just want to charge you to talk to you. Before you spend your money with us, we're more than willing to have a conversation with you for you to determine whether it's something that you want to invest in. In the conversation of the consult, you may want to hire us. You may decide that, man, I just really need an EPK in the bio. You may decide that you need your YouTube optimized. You can't figure it out. It's not working for you. Or you may need some the pub collection. Or you may want to change distro or anything of that nature. In the conversation of the consult, we have those services that you could purchase for a one-off and all of this.
Well, the bad news is that most of the stuff that we give away can be found on artrevsoul.com. As a matter of fact, all of the cheat sheets are on artrevsoul.com. All of the podcast episodes, all of the audio episodes, links to all of the platforms, the link to your free audit, the link to all of the services, breakdown of what those services are. And if you watch the podcast and you have access to the podcast, audio and video, that means you've had access to the cheat sheets. And if you've downloaded all of that stuff, it wouldn't matter what I tell you is for free because we already gave it to you. So that's the beauty about it. If you want us to come work with you, information is free. The hustle is sold separately. And that's what we want to bring to the table. We don't want to strategize for you. We want to strategize with you. And that requires information, OG. So that means, and consultation. That means when these people want services, in order for somebody to be able to help them, anybody, it doesn't matter if you hire us or hire the next person, make sure that they've answered the questions that matter to you. Because how can somebody help you if they don't know where you need help? And that's the reason for the free audit. That's the recipe behind our service and our success, is that we offer transparency and we come in through the gate offering solutions, because solutions and revenue are in our name.
Yes, our middle name is revenue.
Because we help artists monetize.
Yes. Our first name is artist because that's what we're here for. Our middle name is revenue because we got to get to the money to survive. So we're getting out of survival mode to the money where we can build. To get to that, we have to solve the problems in the pipeline.
Correct.
That limit the connections that we can make with people.
And all of these strategies are solutions to the obstacles that you're going to encounter navigating these wild seas that are the entertainment industry.
That you may or may not encounter. Like they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes.
That's what they say.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So
I know them people would have wished they charted that ocean better. The Titanic could still be floating.
It wouldn't be a great movie.
Unsinkable. It was a great story, huh? It was the world's first unsinkable ship, and it sank on its maiden voyage. Because it traveled waters that it was built to withstand, and because nobody bothered to plan properly or couldn't plan properly at the time, the unsinkable ship sank. And it's still claiming lives. Still to this day, people still going down there to the depths of the ocean. They shouldn't go and risking their life to go look at it. Moral of the story is, bro, sink or swim. It wouldn't matter what you think you know. Research. Go look again.
So, for this, strategy. I guess that was we can call that kind of the plug in the play.
Yeah.
That was a plug in the play.
I like it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The solution is
the plug
go to artrevsoul.com and get all of your free strategies, or look our services over, get an audit. If you like the audit's results and you want some more information, get a consultation. If you're not sure about which service may be the best one for you. You may have provided us information for a song, and we may have not have been able to find that song or whatever. We could show you some of the stuff in the audit. And so you may be like, hey, man, I really don't need all that extra stuff. I just want to be able to make my single more discoverable. I want to optimize my YouTube. I like what you guys said about there. I'm heavy on Twitter, bro. I need to get my Twitter right. Man, I want to get my Facebook together. Man, I need to get my website rolling.
My TikTok shop or whatever.
All of those different services we extend, because those are all solutions to problems that we have invested the time to be able to uncover, discover, find, and communicate, and build relationships to solve. So a lot of these things, it's not just us that solves these problems. It's knowing what information we need to provide to keep people in the ecosystem of music industry, and those people facilitate. And the more serious you are about what it is that you want to accomplish, and the more information you come equipped with, the more serious they're going to take you, and the more expedited they're going to help you resolve those issues, because they're all issues. They all affect the next release.
That's what keeps me humble. And that's what also keeps me serious.
Right.
Because it's not me. It can be perceived as me. And I work with artists. Man, you seen what Tony did? They always say OG when they say that. You seen what OG did for such and such? And it's not what I did. It's the artist's motion already.
Right.
Artist got his own motion. Man. Every artist got their own motion, whether it's a crawl, whether it's a backslide, and you just catching them to stop the backsliding to get started again. If you're moving, you have momentum. The part that I bring into the play where I'm allowed in.
Right.
Because a lot of dudes don't allow me into their playhouse to improve their motion. They don't want me to see them crying to crawl.
That's the problem. That's the problem with knowing all of this information, if I can interject, is that the truth is ugly. And some of these people won't tell us all of the problems because they've been able to circumvent and skirt the process to taste whatever success they've had. And now that they're at a point where they want to see maximum success, get the most money for their songs, when you come to look, they didn't bother to tell you that they signed 4 or 5 different distribution deals for this one record. And that's why it has so many different ISRC codes and put-ups and takedowns and, all of those different issues that come along with it. And you have to uncover those, because oftentimes when somebody is requiring information from you, it's to help you.
Well, let's slow that down. first you got to vet the people you're talking to.
I hope so.
You got to vet the people you're talking to. Because some people want information from, and I'll refrain from using names as examples, but I've talked to a multi-platinum artist.
Right.
Bands in town, boom.
Right.
Song kick, boom.
Right.
Was taken off of the official lineup for Essence Fest because he wouldn't allow his Meta and IG analytics to be shared by the label platform that was promoting the lineup via
whatever party, whatever platform, right?
And he didn't want them to have access to his key demographics and analytics because he's an independent artist.
Just knows what he's doing.
And got him a niche.
Right.
And he shares it with as many people, just not with label folk. He don't want the label people in, so he'll not do the official Essence Fest. And there's people who watching that know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I won't shout his name out. Because I bet you they bring him there this year without no contingencies or no...
Right.
Because he in super motion right now with super strategy right now.
Right, he's a draw.
Yeah. Boy, he one of the biggest draws in the country.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, when you leveraging all of those, putting yourself in a position to demand what it is that you need to perform. Let me tell you something, OG. I remember, shout out to Bigger Rankin and the whole squad. I remember the Cocaine Music 5, I know I probably, that's not swear jar, but Cocaine Music 5 tour.
Definitely not a swear jar.
To where when you booked Yo Gotti was who Yo Gotti was, but you had to bring in an 18-wheeler of speakers. And you had to get sound, and you had to pay lumpers. This is what I'm telling you, OG. It was on the contract that somebody had to get there and meet the truck there to pull the equipment off. Hold on. At the end of the show, put it back on, and they had to have it to put on the show. It was the requirement.
In 2012, my good business partner at the time, we started an event company called 708 Events.
Right.
We booked the Yo Gotti.
Right.
We booked the Yo Gotti.
Tell me that rider wasn't retarded.
I got the rider. Shout out, number one. Shout out Jason G. Shout out the whole CMG team.
Yeah.
Gotti, the fam. I didn't know how the business worked. I'm fresh home. I just had a contact. I made a phone call. I got to the right people. They told me the price. Then the rider came. The rider to me was obnoxious. But this is a man elevate. This a man costs a
house.
Yeah, this a man costs a Charger at the time.
The rider itself, an 18-wheeler full of speakers, my boy.
So check it out now. Hold it. Just hold it. At this time, because of where we was at, Lafayette, Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody down there. Push Smoke, Bobby Kaye, Zig Slim, No Leg. Shout out the whole team down there that made that possible. If I forgot your name, bro, don't be mad. You know, I can't just say your name. You know, all of it. So, the 708 Events team, original team.
Squad, day ones.
Salute y'all. You know, some good dudes who they adopted.
Get to the story, man.
So, boom, we book got it.
Okay.
Send a deposit.
Boom.
We get the rider.
Sticker shock.
Rider come with a phone number. So, sticker shock is not, I'm really not too much tripping. I read linen napkins. If it's a Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, it's beef. If it's a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday,
knock it off, bro.
It's Monday, Wednesday, or Sunday, it's fish or
shout out to Yolanda Adams for having the most amazing writer in the world.
Yeah,
a box of assorted tea.
If it's
but
Friday,
go ahead,
it's
come on.
seafood and it's
right. So the writer, you got the writer.
I got the writer. The writer is very elegant. Not something that I would expect for a trap rapper. I think I'm booking you know,
Pavarotti or somebody.
I think I'm booking a street dude. You know what I'm saying? Right. He go pull up, wanting some wings, holler at everybody. You know, I'm underestimating the business.
Come on.
At this time.
Right.
You know, my mind is not in grasp of the business. There's a phone number in the rider. Call this man for the sound. So I called the club owner we rent the venue from. Hey, bro, I need a sound man. He like, cool, bro. I got cuz around the corner. He do all my sound. He ain't gonna charge you too much. Bet. Right. I call cuz around the corner. He like, oh, yeah, man, I got everything I need for that. I take care of that, T. Cool. Let me call the sound man to put everything together. I called the sound man. Sound man said, okay, bro, check your email. I check my email. He got a list.
Laundry list.
A list. So I don't know what none of this is. So I just copied that list and I sent it to the sound man around the corner.
He said, "What is this, bro?"
He like, "Bro, we're not doing this show at the Cajun Dawn, bro. This is a nightclub, bro." I'm like, "This is the sound that's necessary, or they gonna send me back the deposit."
You better believe it. It's gotta sound the same everywhere he went. If it was a 1980 building or a 2020 building, it had to sound the same. The 18-wheeler was already on the road. By the time he got off the stage, your loader, your lumpers, were putting the equipment on, and it was driving to the next city to meet Yo Gotti there.
At this time, he wasn't on tour. So I'm booking a one-off.
Weekend or weekday?
Weekend, a Friday night.
Believe you me, that Joker was leaving there on his way. And the only reason I'm standing on it is because everybody that say Googleable. Google your boy. Your boy was on South Beach passing out the first cocaine music in Ziploc bags when it was written on a hand magic marker.
Let me finish my story.
So come on with it.
Let me finish my story. Because this is what I'm telling you. I know he wasn't on tour. This is why I know he was.
A one-off. One day.
This is a one-off, and I know for a fact that the sound people didn't go with him.
Come on.
Because I had to book him out of Baton Rouge. Okay? 60 miles away. Had to book him out of Baton Rouge. They came, big truck.
18. Was it semi?
Semi. I could tell you the real story in the Patreon or whatever. Block all different kind of access to the building, parking, how big this truck was. Had to go to the store, one of the building owners, build more pieces to the stage from Home Depot.
Did y'all have to get the power for the outside? The big yellow power shit that bring the generator for
most definitely.
For the construction. Because you need something for the power for the equipment.
Before it was over with, the generator for the outside was also powering a food truck that was taking advantage of the crowd that we brought that night because we sold the spot out.
Because this is the story that brought Yo Gotti to that area. Had Yo Gotti been there before?
Maybe years before. Salute Bobby Kaye. He's booked everybody possible.
But had he been there recently?
No.
Okay, so you were probably the one to introduce Yo Gotti to a whole different era of people in that market. Well, so this is a hip-hop story for that era, that market.
There was so much Gotti fanatics.
I can only imagine. And you're talking Louisiana, yeah? So how far away from Memphis?
6-hour drive?
Stop it.
8-hour drive?
Oh, my God.
So that when he showed up, we got the sound right.
Right.
We got the sound right. Now, understand, the sound man flies in first.
Right.
Part of the rider, insured, bonded truck service. Went got my kinfolk. Went got his whip, sent my nephew to go get dude. Nephew pull up, bumping some Yo Gotti, black and mild tucked behind his ear. Buddy called me, "Hey, man, come meet me at the hotel right now. This is not a bonded truck." I go meet him. Give him the back end.
That writer was ignorant, bro. I don't care what nobody say.
I give him the back end. I give him the bottles of Moet and
all the liquor.
The different pieces they need. And now we go to the club.
You got the catered food set up for him at the club?
No, I buy out.
I ain't for that.
It's $500.
There you go.
Whatever, because that's just a little game. That's the road manager walking money.
Of course.
That's the road manager walking money for the incidental expenses he got.
Shout out to Plies. Allegedly, Plies, he wouldn't drink when he would get the riders, so he would either sell the bottles back to the club at the end. Allegedly, he would either sell the bottles back to the club or sell them to security. So if any Plies security is watching, don't get messy, but just drop a Hennessy bottle in the comments and let me know if y'all had to drop the Hennessy bottle and the bag of money in the comments. It's something I just heard of artists doing, because the writer stuff but we said all that to say Yo Gotti's writer. Finish telling us the story. So. Bonded truck, nephew, hey man, come meet me at the hotel, bud. This ain't no bonded truck.
So we go to the venue.
Right.
Buddy give me an earful about not having a bonded truck. We go and get the speakers and stuff in there. Speakers knock the liquor off the wall. Knocking bottles.
Beat
bananas.
Go have a leak. Go have a leak the next day of the roof.
They got a bananas. And so off the wall, you know what I'm saying? Off the wall performance. And I just really, all of the pricing, because the sound was $7,000, the venue was what it was, but the sound itself and the hassle with the sound, and then the extras of the loadout.
Right.
Of the loadout. Yeah, it was just the logistics of all of that stuff. Because them dudes had to leave to go set up for some church event in Baton Rouge the next day. And they was out there till...
And guess what? If y'all ain't had no lumber, did they have somebody to unload and load the truck up? Because if not, y'all was finna have to do that.
They had 2 dudes, bro.
2 lumpers. I'm telling you what they had.
2 dudes, bro.
I done seen it play out. OG, I've been blessed. Thank you, Lord, for having me go and be on the road with some of the biggest names, some of the most platinum biggest records, and having to share a room 6 deep with the street team. I've seen touring from the front end and the back end, OG. I was driving through the streets of Florida. Shout out to Jafar, man. I was driving through the streets of Florida in a Malibu with a donut, 3 regular tires and a donut. And I had the Jeezy tour bus behind me when he was on my President is Black tour. Mm-hmm. I put on for my city. I still got the t-shirt. Yeah. And I'm riding through. I got the tour bus stuck in the back road. The man wouldn't get off. When we got to Orlando, he wouldn't get out the tour bus because his clothes was wrinkled. You know, where do you find an iron at 2 o'clock in the morning in Orlando, in Disney World? Everything shuts down at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It's a family city, bro.
Where did you find an iron, King?
Walgreens, some random where doing 90 miles an hour there to get it back, paid an astronomical price for an iron. But it's in the writer, so they got to have it. This was a requirement.
So the promoter had to go get an iron.
Listen to what I'm telling you, bro. You want me to perform, my boy? I ain't getting off the bus.
Hey, I've heard stories. I've been.
Shout out to some of your favorites, bro, for putting us. And I know Big is gonna probably be mad at me for telling some of these stories. Some of these stories don't put these artists in the best light. And allegedly, right? Whatever.
I don't have no road horror stories. I've been on the road with some guys that's pretty rough and tumble. But I don't have no rough and tumble.
Growing up with Bigger with WR&R.
I don't recall.
The R&R mixtape series. We done been in some of the most treacherous. And even when you sent us on the road, when we was down there with your boy, Crow Boy, and you sent us over there to Lafayette, that's the house, that's a club, but it's a house.
That's in Crowley, man. That's my cousin spot, man. DHS after hours.
We pull up. This is a true story, y'all. Quick couple minutes. We pull up to the club, and the police is parked out in front of the club. So we walk by the police. Police look at us, and they don't say nothing else. Y'all be safe. We ain't from here. We look like we out of place. You know what I'm saying? I done drove through here in the daytime, bro. People, what's going on? We get in the club, can't move in there. The wall, the club is packed, and if y'all from the country, y'all know this. The club is full when the walls are sweating, when there's so much heat in the club that the sweat from your body starts to pour out of the walls. Like the walls are crying. You couldn't breathe in there. So we in there about 30 minutes. They get the record played. The artist look at me. He's in there about to die. He got all his clothes on. Like, come on, man, let's just go. When we leave, the police say, y'all don't stop at no lights. What? My boy, what do you mean?
Hey, bro.
Y'all don't stop at no lights.
It is the country, man. Just leave.
We jumped in the car and did about 90 till we got to the freeway.
It's 4 in the morning.
I ain't gonna lie. It took us about 20 minutes to get from the freeway there. To go back, it took us about 6 minutes. As soon as I got out of there, that main road coming down, I bust a left, went all the way down to the next main road and bust another left and ran about 15 blinking red lights. Boom, boom, boom. You thought I had Kamala in there. I would get it, boy. You'd have thought I had your boy DJ T in there, the way I was moving. Because I done been to some of the spots. I done been to spots with Bigger. Shout out to Big Al. Shout out to Big Greg. Shout out to Big Youngin. I done been to some of the clubs. Some of them guys, some of your favorite artists. One of the trending artists right now.
Thanks.
I was in the club with old boy on a street and greet where supposedly somebody had gave his team some money, allegedly, and they walked in there. We in there doing a street and greet, and them boys walked in there like this. Where is that, my boy? We heard you was going to be in the city. So hold on, Jack. I can't even smoke in the club right now. What is y'all doing about theirs? I'm in a state where I can't even much smoke it. So I done been there and witnessed some of them stories. I was on the road with DM. Shout out to DM coast to coast. We went to Milwaukee. And we got to the club and them folk was like, man, we heard y'all charging such and such. And we like, hold on. First of all, we work for these people. We work for these people. We ain't charging nobody. We come here to do the job. Them boys turned around and locked the door. If I'm going, y'all not leaving here with the money in that box.
What?
On everything I love, bro. This is rap music and you better be prepared for the hook, baby. Hustle with no strategy is going to have you running in motion, running in tails. You're going to be booked. Here's the finesse. You're going to meet a promoter, and we're going to close on this one. You're going to meet a promoter, and he's going to tell you that if you give him 20 grand, he can work your move and he can get you booked in five cities. He's going to take $1,500 for each of them 5 cities, $7,500. He going to put $12,500 to the side. He going to call his partners, and he going to say, check this out, bro. I'm going to give you $500, and I want you to pay him $1,000 to come perform at the city. And once they do that, you're going to be hooked because you're going to believe that you was the draw. And you're going to be ready to give them 40 for the next play. The way to run ads, the way to pay for attention, it's not sustained for you to make your money back. It'll cost you $21,000 to earn $3,000 from the million streams that you're going to have to get to make that amount of money. That means you're spending 7 times the amount of what it costs. There's not a pay structure in the world to give you ROI when you have no plan. And when you have a strategy in place, these obstacles, you start to find solutions for them. They don't start to be planned killers and enders and dream enders. They just become an obstacle on our path to where we're prepared for things like that. Because as an artist, I want you guys to demand an 18-wheeler of sound. As artists, I want you guys to know everybody who is authorized to collect money on your behalf, who your team is, who your management is, who your booking information is. That should be clear cut and available. You should have control over what gets added to what website, not somebody else. And that's what all of this stuff is.
Okay, now, just in defense of promoters, you don't have to demand an 18-wheeler of sound if you're not playing rooms that demand an 18-wheeler of sound.
If you want to put on a show, the people, that's why my wife asked me last night. We were watching some video and she was like, who's one of the greatest performers you've ever seen? And I've said it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. T-Pain, one of the greatest performers I've ever seen. Okay. Because he put on a show. B.O.B., Bob,
yeah,
ridiculous, puts on a show. Yo Gotti, you don't hear Yo Gotti's music in the club. You feel it. It shakes your soul. If you drunk, it's going to make you drunker. You're going to pass out. If you at the point of no return, that is going to shake you like a shaker. These are people that have put on memorable experiences, and that's why they can demand $120. Y'all talking about Beyonce tickets expensive. My boy, it was $1.25 to get in the club to see Jeezy back in 2015. What you talking about, dude? Now, they just got hip to that. These guys was running through the chitlin circuit, making $1 at the door. $1.50.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man. Y'all, cities like Atlanta and everywhere else, they charge you to sit down. The VIP section in Atlanta and New York City is so you can have somewhere to sit. In the country, you VIP, you balling out of control, my boy. Who you is? And that's what some of these guys are hood legends. And in the chitlin circuit, when you go through and you can get the radio station, which are not reporting radio stations, right? Because the vast majority of them have, local radio stations or bleed off the signal antenna from the surrounding radio stations. So they don't have their own infrastructure. They rely on the infrastructure of the other people that bring the content in. Some of these small towns, brother, people got to buy these stuff out of catalogs still to this day.
Right.
Folks don't have a car to drive to the mall that's 3 hours away, 2 hours away.
Right.
So a lot of these people, the ones that are your fan base, the ones that are streaming your music, the ones that are listening, you got to have a plan on how you're going to keep getting them the music, how you're going to make your return on your investment.
Bro, and listen, man. So as we shut down, I just want to say this before we close all the way out. Allegedly.
So boom, check it.
Allegedly. A promoter refused to pay an artist. And the door got locked. With the money bag, the money box, and the artist, and the club owner, and the promoter. I don't remember who the other person in the room was.
Right.
And the artist left with full compensation as the artist team and entourage secured the security around the venue to escort the artist and his compensation to the transportation to safely get on the road to the destination.
Everybody wants to get you booked, but nobody tells you all of the different things that you have to make sure of. Like, is the promoter relying on the fact that you're on the radio to bring a draw? Did they just book a club on an off night because it was available and thought you were going to bring 400 people to the club? You never did a drop. It's not available nowhere. Nobody knows you're performing except for the 3 or 4 people he's told. He hasn't bought commercials locally, but you think he paid you. You have all of the attention coming to the club. When you get there, he's going to be like, hey, bruh, I ain't make the door, man. I ain't got your back end. And 9 times out of 10, you got to get that back end at the hotel.
Salute Double R. because he got to edit the hell out of this.
Yeah, shout out to Double R.
So because this is where the artist needs a protocol for when they're booked. Then people book you. Then people send that deposit. You send them people the pictures you want to use. You let them know the songs you promote.
Yes.
You go live about the event.
Yes.
You find somebody local. You invite them. You do something to give away part of your back end money, whether you pay a bill, get the birthday girl $100, buy drinks, whatever it is. Participate in the booking. Don't just think you're gonna put all the money in your pocket. No.
The bigger you are, the more impactful. I'll say this. Jack Black. Shout out to Jack Black on the Minecraft movie. Jack Black is arguably one of the biggest entertainers, actors, and musicians available right now for movies and film, everything else. He just recently was a movie theater full of kids watching the Minecraft movie. He walks in there and watched the Minecraft movie. Microphone ran through the crowd. A man of the people.
Right.
Walked in a room. These people owed him nothing. They came there to see the movie. He could have sat in the back and watched their reaction and enjoyed it. And instead, he decided to have a moment that changed a core memory for every kid in that building.
Boom.
Core memory. Fans for life.
The love and passion for what he's doing.
Strategy.
Amen.
Hustle and strategy, they go hand in hand. One is a prerequisite to benefit from the other. That's for you to decide. I am your boy Kingpin, a.k.a. Rapjuggernaut.
I am Tony. I am the Connect Guidry.
And this is the Uncut Game Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share all of our content, and make sure you look in the description and get the cheats for this week. Appreciate you guys. Peace.